Dr. Battle. How you doing today, Dr. Battle?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And, at a time like this, a lot of people, this is a vacation, some of it's work, but a lot of people will consider this as self-care, this kind of experience. Can you tell us a little bit about the self-care process and how you use self-care to really help out a lot of these players and athletes?
I'll see you. Part of preventing injury on the field, off the field, and having longevity in your career is what you do in the interim. So physical therapy that they're provided, the regular exercises, but a big focus on nutrition. We know that they travel a lot. They're eating well, maybe sometimes, but a lot of time the restaurant that poor food. We know that in sports, especially professional sports, there's a big risk of heart disease, diabetes, aside from the injuries that you get on the field. So self-care is important to minimize some of those injuries.
And how do you work with someone, especially the offensive linemen who are really big, 360 pounds when they playing, and then when they retire, they drop down to in their body. It's a drastic weight loss. Because I'll see people here, right here on Radio. I'm like, wow, man, I didn't even recognize them. You lost so much weight after they retire from football. They don't have to eat all that. They don't have to have all that protein and extra bulk, carrying that bulk around.
And that would be good if that happened most of the time. The big problem is that after they stop playing, they're not doing all that physical activity, they tend to get larger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And instead of building muscle, they start to build fat, which impacts their heart, their lungs, their kidneys, and that's why it's been known that some of the post-retirement die younger. So it's not just the concussions that they think about, it's your overall health.
Yes.
What are some of the tools that you use to get the help with the weight loss?
One of the big things is nutrition. Eating a well-balanced diet, especially whole food diet. But the other thing is rest. People don't think about rest and hydration as well.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. They don't think about that. They don't think about it. They don't think about that as much. They just, they get into that mode and they try to work out or stop working out and getting themselves back into that state. And I notice you're a doctor, Dr. Kimberly Battle. What type of medical doctor are you?
I practice quite a bit. I've had a long career. I started out in pediatric critical care, so taking care of chronically ill kids. And from that, I transitioned into taking care of chronically ill adults in what's called the world of palliative medicine, where we care for people with advanced illness and also hospice, so at end stage in their terminal illness as well. And what we found is that when people enter into that chronic stage, they often say, what should I have done different? What could I have done different? Is there a way that I didn't have to end up with end-stage heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease? And a lot of that involves what you did in the years prior as far as self-care and taking care of yourself.
Correct.
In addition to that, the other focus is, what could the family have done? Because when those individuals do die, my patients that I care for, the families say, what could we have done different, especially when they were young and they died? And that involves learning self-care, not just for yourself, but as a caregiver, how to care for the people that you're responsible in your world. And that's an impact that the NFL has taken seriously. They have a program called Total Wellness, where they focus on self-care for the players and the families that care for them, because families have to learn how to cook properly, how to ensure that you're getting rest, how to diminish stress in the household and the family.
Wow. And how long have you been connected with the NFL?
Well, I am not directly connected with them, but I've known about their program for a while because I've been in the wellness field for well over now about 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So I know what they do for the players especially, but I was really thrilled when I found out that they were in the arena that I already work in, caring for the families as well, that care for those players.
And that's so greatly needed, because they definitely need to care. I remember one player a former Buffalo Bill player, he usually I haven't seen him yet this year, but he was just saying he had a knee injury, and next thing you know, he couldn't recover from the knee. He recovered from the knee for life, but for football, it just didn't. And he told me he was thinking about committing suicide because he couldn't cope with. He said, George, you don't realize, man, to hear that crowd and hear that cheer, the fans and people calling your name, or people you in town, people knowing you, and then you gone 1 or 2 years, and you walk around nobody don't know my name or nothing. They just walk, hello, nobody don't say, hey, so-and-so, hey, how you been, man? How you doing? So he said it really hurt him that people didn't know him, or and just in a, not that he was arrogant or anything, but just in a normal way. They say, hey, how you doing, Joe Blow? How's everything going? So all of that kind of feeds into what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And how do you go about someone like that and that kind of
when they drop out from the limelight, while they're in the limelight on the field in the sport, you have to start working on mental health at that time.
Yes.
Mental health, wellness. You also have to start preparing players from the time they hit the field and sign the contract for what's going to occur when that contract is over or that injury occurs and you're off the field. So building a network around them is what you can do important.
Okay.
The NFL definitely offers the psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, but that's when you're on the field.
Yes.
They need that to extend to when they're off the field.
Absolutely.
And that's what I focus on.
Absolutely. Do you are you planning to talk with the NFL Players Association? Talk to some to the president and some of them to maybe have you present to them?
I recently received the contact information for the person, the director for their total wellness program. I am definitely going to reach out to her.
Yeah, because your services is definitely needed, Dr. Battle. Anything else in closing that you would like to let the people know about?
Just as being part of the caregiver circles for these sports players, these professional players, whether they're starting in high school, college, or in the NFL, it's important for the people around them to know that they can contribute to keep them whole and healthy when they're off the field.
Absolutely.
And if you need additional information, please reach out to me on my website. It's drkimtoday.com. That's DRKIMTODAY, drkimtoday.com.
Dr. Kim
and I can
Today.
provide additional information.
Oh, definitely. I hope the people out there in TV land, Dr. Kim Battle, follow that drkimtoday.com, an easy website to remember. Dr. Kim, DRKIMTODAY.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim Battle, for coming on Real Deal Sports Show and sharing that light of not only what's on the field, but what's happening off the field with not only the player, but their families, which is much more important, for sure. Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you.
And and remember now, Real Deal Sports Show. Check us out, like us. Check out these shows are on YouTube right now live. You can see it on YouTube. And like us. Please subscribe to the show when you're watching these fine guests and videos on our YouTube page.
And don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the page. Real Deal Sports Show, exclusive sport content.
Okay.